Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering, your home for real nuts and bolts guitar learning. And this time we are going to be doing a play-along guitar workout. So make sure you have your guitar along with you as you're going through this. You're also going to need one more thing. It's the PDF that goes along with the workout exercises that we're doing tonight. So take a minute to download that PDF and print it out so you can have that in front of you as we go along there. It's going to be a workout where we're working out the last of our four-part series in chords that you need to know. And so this is the coolest chords that you need to know. These are some great chords in uniquely wonderful guitar voicings. And so we're going to talk about all those tonight. So we've already introduced them in the lesson, which was last time. So if you haven't seen that, you may want to look at that before you dive into this. But if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Open up that PDF to page 14. And let's talk about what these chords are. A lot of the chords that we're dealing with right now are going to be shape chords. And what I mean by shape chords is they are chords that base off of a certain shape, and then you move that shape to different points, and it creates these very cool sounding voicings on guitar. So that's where we're going to start. So take a look at page 14. The first shape that we're going to use to move around to create these cool sounding chords is that E5. So everybody go ahead and play that E5 with me. This is at the 7th fret. You got your first finger on the 5th string at the 7th fret, third finger on the 4th string, 9th fret, and then pinky underneath that on the 3rd string, 9th fret, and then open strings after that. That's a good old E5. Anytime you need a good strong E, that's a good one to start with. So that's the shape. Now, we're going to start moving it around. Now, not every place we move it is going to sound very good, but a couple of these along the way is going to be the magic. So let's start going through this. If you look at that, let's review these E-shaped chords real quickly. Start on that E5 and then go down 2 frets. And we have a D6-9. Try and get every note to ring. You're not barring, you're having these open strings. Go down 1 more, so now you're at the 4th fret. That's a great C-sharp minor. It's actually a C-sharp minor 11th, but it can be substituted for any C-sharp minor or C-sharp minor 7th. Go down 1 more, and you have a C major 7th, a really pretty C major 7th. Very hip-sounding C major 7th. Go down 1 more, now you're at the 2nd fret. That's a B suspended, can be substituted in sort of more modern progressions for a B or for a B7th sometimes. Okay? If you go down 1 more, that doesn't sound real good, but if you take it down even 1 more, and so now you're kind of off the fretboard, that is an A2. So that's the same A2 shape that we talked about a couple of sessions back on the pop and rock chords one. All right, so those are the ones we have. The open, 2nd fret. You play these with me. 3rd fret, C major 7th. 4th fret, C-sharp minor 11th, can be substituted for any C-sharp minor. Go up another one, that's D6-9, can be substituted for a D. Back up to 7th fret, that's an E. What if you go 2 more frets up? We end up with kind of an interesting sounding F-sharp suspended. If you need kind of an F-sharp sort of a chord and want it to sound a little bit unusual, that's a good one to try. You go up 1/2 step more, now you're at the 10th fret, and that's your G, kind of a G6. You go up 2 more, we're back on our A2, we're just an octave up where we started. So there you go. Those are the chords, not anything complex. You're just moving the same shape around. So, but you can come across some great sounds along with those. That's one batch of them using the E5 as our starting chord. So let's do a little progression with that. So look at the progression. that line of music there in the bottom third of page 14 starts on an E5. Then it goes to a C sharp at the 4th fret, C at the 3rd fret, then back up to D, and then it repeats back, and then it goes to E5. Hey, let's get our drummer going here. Let's do like a nice, good, aggressive strumming on this one. A 1, 2, E, starts it. C sharp, C, D, back up to E. We're going to repeat it. We're going to do this again. Let's just do it again. Give you another shot at this. E. Sorry, C sharp, C, D, E. All right, so there you go. Let me turn off my drummer here. I'll crank him up though a little bit, get him a little bit louder. All right, so there you go. A great little progression. If I had, an E that's, let's say, a minor, this is an E5, so it's neither minor or major. So it works equally well with both since it doesn't have that third in it. So it'll work equally well for an E minor. All right, so let's take another seed shape and see what we can find off of that. So the next one is an F sharp minor 11th shape. So you have your second finger on this 6th string at the 2nd fret. You're muting out this 5th string. You just kind of let this fingers lightly touch that 5th string. Then you have, on the 4th string, you have the 2nd fret with your 3rd finger. Pinky on that 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then you have these open E and open B ringing out. Remember, that's what the guitars do best, is let those open strings ring. So that's one of the things that we want to try and do a lot of. All right, so we have an F sharp minor 11th here at the 2nd fret. If I move it up to the 4th fret, I have a G sharp minor 11th or an E2 with a G sharp. Again, don't worry about the names. It functions like an E, okay, or a G sharp minor. Okay, if you went up another half step, the 5th fret now, I get a really great A minor 9th. Substitutes for any A minor. If I go up 2 more, now I'm at the 7th fret. I have a B minor 11th. Can substitute for any B minor or B minor 7th. Go up 2 more, I get a C sharp minor 7th. And those are the ones that work on that form. Okay, so we have one at the 2nd fret, the 4th fret, the 5th fret, the 7th fret, and the 9th fret there. Okay, so that's the F sharp minor based ones. I mentioned it in the lesson, and so I just thought I would put it out here. We don't have a graphic for it, but it is on page 15 in your book. It is based off of the E, regular open E. So if I move that up maybe a half step, switch my fingers around, and I throw my first finger down where that open E was, so I have it's basically an F chord, but I'm not barring it. Okay, those are the notes in that one. Okay, very exotic sounding chord. If I move this shape up 1 more to the 2nd fret, kind of an F sharp suspended. 1 more, I get a G, 6th at the 3rd fret. If I'd go 2 more, I get this beautiful A2. If I go 2 more frets up to the 7th fret, I get a B suspended, really great sounding B suspended. Go up 1 more to the 8th fret, I've got a C major 7th, a pretty C major 7th. Up at the 10th fret, I've got a quirky sounding D6-9. Okay, so do you see what I did? I just took that same shape and I started out with that open E. All right, so now that we've learned the F sharp minor 11th ones and the E ones, let's look at the line of the progression on page 15. Okay, and take a look at that real quick. This starts out on the A minor 9th in that F sharp minor form, so find that up here at the 5th fret. Then it goes to this G6th, which is those E-shaped ones, at the 3rd fret. And then it goes the F major 7 flat 5 at the 1st fret. And then it just does that again. So the 3 chords are the A minor 9th, G6th, F sharp, major 7 flat 5. We won't turn on the drummer yet. Let's just see if we can play all those together. 1, 2, ready. A minor, go. 2, 3, G6th, N. 2, 3, 4, F major 7th. 2, 3, 4. Go back up to A minor. 2, 3, 4. A minor. G now. F major 7 flat 5. Very exotic sounding chords. Do it again. Back up to A minor. Add a little strumming with it if you want to. G. F major 7. Back up to A. Do it one more time. One more time. Make sure you got it. Great sounding chords. Now that, if I had just had a progression of A minor, G, and F, I would be playing these open forms and I wouldn't even think to go to these other forms. But now you've got these in your repertoire of things that you can pull out. The A minor, and we created a great sounding progression. Okay, so those are some chord changes that you can use for these various situations. I know there's quite a few of them, and there's even more. You can just find a chord that you like and start moving it around, and you'll come up with some great sounding shapes. But those are just some to get you started with on the idea. Find a few that you like and start making music with them. That's the idea. Okay. Take a look at the bottom of page 15. Let's get into some other chords. These are not shaped chords. These are minor 9th chords. And what I like about these particular voicings is they put the minor 3rd of the E, which would be a G, and the minor 9th, which is only a half step away from each other. They put them right next to each other. So you get this beautiful dissonance there. Now, you'll notice that I'm not playing the 5th string. Okay, so but Steve, how could you strum without playing the 5th string? Well, you can either do this a tight little strum, or maybe you could even put your 3rd finger down like a C shape, and that still gets it too. Or maybe you can even go back to the B. That's another way. You have to switch your fingers around for that though. But that's a great shape, E minor 9th. Try sliding up to it. So we're going to start on that E down here at the 4th string 2nd fret, and we're going to slide into that F sharp. Just do that. Okay, now we're going to add the G to it. Let them ring, let them ring. Don't mute them out with the other fingers. And then let's add this last D on it with our first finger. One more time. If you can't do it, don't worry about it. Just come back and practice it again. Another time, you could even slow it down with that little gear icon, the bottom right hand of the YouTube video. Okay. E minor ninth, a great, great, great chord. Okay. C, D suspended, E minor ninth, harmonic. A great chord. Look at the next one. That's an A minor ninth. You're up at the 5th fret, and I've got my second finger on the 4th string 5th fret, third finger on the 3rd string 5th fret, right underneath each other. Squeeze them right in there. Try and get everyone to have its own string ringing. You don't want to mute any of them out. That's an A minor ninth. Hey, move up 1 fret. That's a beautiful A major ninth. Just that one was for free. Okay, there's our A minor ninth. So anytime I'm playing A minor, I can slip that bad boy in there. Okay, D minor ninth is the next one. I have an open D. Still up here at the 5th fret, I have my 3rd finger on the 3rd string 5th fret C. Third finger on the 2nd string at the, what is that, the 6th fret? And then an open E. Still have that tension there. That pattern that I'm doing, just in case you're wondering, I'm doing a hybrid picking pattern. I'm just going the pick, and then the 2nd string, pick on the 3rd string, and then finger on the 1st string. Pick on the 4th, 2nd finger on the 2nd string, pick on the 3rd string, 2nd string, or 2nd finger on the 1st string. So I'm just alternating between pick and my 2nd finger. Try that little pattern. Pick, 2nd string, pick, 2nd string. Alternating strings. 4th string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string, 4th string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string. So alternating strings. That little pattern can be applied to any combination of chords. What if I did it on D2? Second, third, first. So it's the same pattern. All right, so now that we've got those down, flip over to page 16. And let's put that in a progression. So let's show you how you can apply these chords. So it's no use to just learn a chord, okay? You can go to any chord book and learn 1,000 chords. Doesn't make you any bit of a better player. It's only when you can apply something does it matter. Okay, does it actually become part of who you are as a musician? So take a look at the top line of page 16. This is our original progression there. I've got an E minor, I've got a D, I've got a C, I've got a D. It's a cool progression and all. but rather plain. Okay, so you all play that original progression with me, just a regular old E minor, just as is written there. 1, 2, 3, 4. D now. Just a light strum. C. D. Do it again. Do it again. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You could just do whole notes if you want to. Just find something that works for you. When I'm strumming, I want to have a lighter grip on my pick. So my pick has a little bit of movement in it, a little bit of movement. Okay? If you're using a very thick pick, it's not going to be real conducive to strumming. So generally, a more medium pick is going to work better for you. I've got a Jim Dunlop, what is this, 73? Yep, 73 millimeter here. All right, so that's the original progression. Not bad, but rather plain. Okay, so let's see if we can incorporate some of the new chords that we've learned over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, instead of the E minor, I'm going to play my brand new E minor ninth. It's got that new chord smell to it. By brand spanking new E minor ninth. Hey, if I just put my third finger down and kind of make a C shape with it, I get this really hip D suspended that we covered, I think 2 weeks ago. If I go and switch from the C and make it a C2, so I'd have to put maybe my second finger there and my third finger there. I just catch these open ones. We talked about those in the second session, the pop and rock chords. And then I went back up to that D suspended. Okay, so try those chords with me one more time. E minor ninth. Then I just put my third finger down for the D suspended. I gotta switch my fingers around here to second and third finger for the C2. I'm just playing these inside 4 strings. I'm not playing that 6th or the 1st string. Notice how each one of these stops at this D and has a common tone in that D. Okay, so let's see if we can play this. Hey, let's do our little rhythm we were doing if you want to try that. We'll do it really slow. So the pick is going to hit whatever the bass note is. Just try and get that going. Now put that third finger down for that D suspended, 5th string. C2 now. Back up to the D suspended. Try and let these strings ring. E minor. All I have to do is take that third finger off. D suspended. Put that third finger back on. Sorry. C2. It's hard to do it this slow. Okay, I'm going to give you one more shot at this. Hit the E. Try to get every note to ring out. Here comes that D suspended. You can do it. You can do it. Now it's that C2. Switch your fingers around. D suspended. Can you go a little bit faster? Ready? And E minor. D suspended. 5th string. C2, gotta switch your fingers around. D suspended. Okay, we're gonna do it one more more time, a little bit faster. Hang in there, E minor ninth, here we go. D suspended. C2. Hear how beautiful those chords are to working together? Okay, now, oh my goodness, you're going so fast. It's the same pattern, so focus on getting the pattern. If you can get the pattern, then speeding it up isn't that big of a deal once you get the pattern. The key is getting the pattern down, so go as slow as you need to get the pattern down. Now, if you like these sorts of rich-sounding chords, let me offer you a resource here. I did a series a while back called a fretboard workout series on the money chords. Okay, the money chords. These are the chords that sound great on guitar. I called them the money chords, and we did a whole series with this, and we've got a live band, and there's workouts that you can do, and all kinds of stuff. If you're interested, a lot of this material is really worked out in that series, the fretboard workout series on money chords. Okay, so if you're interested, I put the link down in the YouTube description below, and if you're interested, you just click that, and it's just $25, and then you we'll send you all of these workouts, the live band that we recorded it with, some of the best Nashville musicians, and it's a great way to really get these chords and chord progressions and the chord substitutions and all these things that we're talking about. It really dives deep into all that. So there you go. Hey, let's do another one of these progressions. All right? So look at the next progression down. This would be the third line down. This is a regular C. Okay, everybody knows this C. This is nothing too hard. And then an A minor, so play an A minor. Okay, big old bar chord F if you can. Try and get each note to ring out. G. Okay, do it again, a C, there should be a graphic for that, then an A minor, then an F, and then a G. Okay, so let's get our drummer going again here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do that opening progression, that original progression. C, use whatever strumming pattern you want. 2, C, go. A minor. F. G. Do it again. A minor. F. Hey, while I have you here, we might as well learn something. Hey, hit the bass note and then do the strums. You got to be a little bit more accurate to hit that bass note. F, G. You try that. Hit the bass note, then the strum. C, A for the A minor. There you go. F on the 6th string, then F on the, or G on the 6th string. Do it one more time. Okay, so not a bad progression. People use it in songs all the time, but let's see if we can make something a little bit more interesting happen into it. All right, so take a look at the progression with our new chords with it. All right, so instead of that C, I'm going to play my fancy new C major 7th off of that E shape. Remember, that was the first ones we talked about? And then I have an A minor ninth after that, which I can just take my first finger off, or I can switch my fingers around to catch that A minor ninth that we talked about a few minutes ago. Then I have the F, but I have I raised my bar up, so I get these extra notes in there, and I slide it up for the G, and creates a really rich sounding progression. Okay, so you play through these chords with me. 1, 2, C major 7th, then to A minor 9th, and to F major 7th, and ready, go. With that flat 5, then a G, and to do it again, 1, 2, back to C, and 2, 3, A minor 9th, 2, 3, and F major 7th with that flat 5, really rich sort of sound. G 6th. Let's add a little strumming with it, just whatever you want to. C major 7th, A minor 9th, F major 7th, flat 5. See if you can get real soft, real soft. How soft can you get? Relax your hold on that pick. Okay, get louder. A minor 9th. Loud as you can go, loud as you can go. Don't be afraid to put some muscle in your strumming. What if we make them short every now and then? So I'm kind of muting with this hand, my fretting hand, my strumming hand, where I'm just hitting the strings, and as soon as I hit them, I'm muting it with my palm here. Okay, so you add a little bit of those in there. There you go, okay? Just some ideas, some things to play around with. All right, now there's one more. We've covered so many different chords. There's one more chord and concept I want to work out with you, okay? Take a look at page 17, okay? And we're going to talk about this particular altered dominant chord. Now, if you want to analyze it, it's an augmented chord with, a flat 5 in the bass, okay? But here's how you play it. Put your second finger on the 6th string of the 2nd fret, okay? I'm going to skip the 5th string, so I just mute him out. Then I'm going to put my 3rd finger on the 4th string 2nd fret E, okay? Then I'm going to bar with my 1st finger on the 1st fret, the 3rd string, and the 2nd string. So I get this really dissonant chord. Okay? Now, this particular chord can do a lot of crazy great things to get you into other chords. And here's how it works. If I want to sound really hip and give a really great chord that's going to lead me to another chord. I throw this bad boy in a half step above my target chord. Okay, what do I mean by that? Is I can throw this in, if I'm doing a chord progression, let's say in G minor or in F, and I'm going to start on a G minor, okay? So look at that last line of example there. I have a G minor 7th. This would be like a 2-5-1 in the key of F. G minor 7th. And then I'd have a C7. And then I'd have an F. Maybe an F major 7th, kind of jazzy sounding. Okay, you play that with me. G minor 7th, and 1, 2, 3, C7, 2, 3. We're just playing those first 4 bars, F major 7th. Do it again, 1, 2, 3. Do it again, and a very common progression if I was in the key of F. Okay, if I just looked at the bass line, what the bass line is doing, it's doing this. Then it jumps up to the C, then back down to the F. Okay, well what if I want that bass line to go? Why do I have to jump all the way up to that C? Maybe I could just throw that F sharp in there. And I'll throw my magic chord right before my target chord of the F. So let's hear how that sounds. This would be the next 3 bars. So we start on that G minor, 2, 3, 4. Now I throw my magic chord in there. The F major 7th. Oh, do you see how hip that was getting to that F major 7th? Just do those 3 chords again. G minor 7th, back to G minor 7th, and our magic chord, F major 7. It's kind of a jazzy sounding chord. Now it will resolve to major chords like that. It will resolve to minor chords. It's just so dissonant, it'll even resolve to minor chords. So if I did the same progression, G minor, magic chord, to an F minor, it works just as well. Okay, this chord works with everything, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so there's the 6-string version of it that I showed you. If we go back to where we have the chords written out there, I've got the 6-string version. Now there's also a 5th-string version of it. So if I just take each one of these notes and just raise it up an octave, well, that F sharp will end up here. This E will end up there. This A flat would then become right there, and that C would become this. So do you see what I did? I created a new chord form by not changing anything other than just raising everything up an octave. So this chord shape can be used to go to anywhere. If I want to sound hip going anywhere, I throw my magic chord in and it'll do it. So let's look at that progression again there. We have a G minor 7th. We did our magic chord to get to the F major 7th. But if I repeat it around and I want to get back to the G minor 7th, where would I put my magic chord? A half step above the G minor. And then that would get us back to the G minor. Let's see how that sounds. 1, G minor 7th. You play it with me. Ready, go. G minor 7th. Magic chord going down, leading to this F. Now go up to the 4th fret and do the magic chord to lead down to the G minor. Oh man, listen to how hip you're sounding. Oh my goodness. All the jazz players are gonna turn their heads when you play and you start laying this bad boy on them. All I'm doing is thinking, what chord am I trying to get to? And then I just do my magic chord, half step above it. it's a great chord. What if I'm playing an F and I wanted to do a D minor? I could throw it my magic chord, the 5th string version, right before that D minor. Let's see if that works. So start on F major 7th to F major 7th, and ready, go. Magic chord a half step above the D. D minor. Back to the F major 7th. Magic chord before the D minor. Did it before the F there. You could throw it before anything. Okay. Now it's not going to work in certain situations because it is more of a jazz sounding chord. So if you're in some bluegrass gig and you're playing, Rocky Top or something like that, it's not going to sound very good. Everybody's going to turn their head, but for a bad reason, and look at you. Okay. But if you're on something that you're trying to sound a little bit more jazzy, a little bit more hip in your chord progressions, lay that one in occasionally. And you can get a lot of good mileage out of that. Okay? All right, so there you go. Those are 4 pages of chords that, took me 40 years of professional playing to kind of digest into those chords. So I'd encourage you to spend some time with them. Learn how they work, learn how to use them. So not just get them underneath your fingers, but learn where you can use them to make the chords sound the best. Remember, if you've got a capo, you can. There you go. And if you're interested about capos, we've got a lesson on capos and a little chart that you can download there as well. So there you go. I hope you've learned a lot as we've gone through this Chords You Need to Know series. And if there's anything that we can help you out with, just let us know at service@guitargathering.com. Subscribe to our channel if you can. Hit that notification bell, and we will send you notifications when we go live. Keep up the great work in your own learning, and I'll see you next time.